What word comes to your mind when we mention the name Zinedine Zidane? The answer is almost certainly headbutt. It is a somewhat acrimonious response following what was an unbelievable career. Today, we know him as the manager, a leader who led Real Madrid to 3 successive Champions League victories, an unbelievable achievement in itself. Nevertheless, the end of his playing career in 2006 was to be tarnished by an incident at the end of France's unfancied yet impressive run to the World Cup final in Germany. Of course, the French captain's misconduct was not unique at major finals. What made it so instantaneously famous was that Zidane had done it. A player so revered, idolised and so respected. A centre midfielder at 6'2", the way he moved about the pitch was more akin to a gazelle. Combined with flair, skill and physicality, he was in some ways the perfect footballer. In France '98, he played a pivotal role in Le Bleu's home triumph. Zidane scored twice in the final to sink Brazil's Seleção. This instantly propelled the Algerian-born star to world-class status, and his name is renowned around the world. 3 years later, after a successful spell in Italy with Juventus, he became a Galactico at Real Madrid. His left-foot volley in the 2002 Champions League final was the epitome of the man. Sheer class. Prior to the 2006 World Cup, Zidane announced his retirement from the game, which was to follow the end of the tournament. The news came as a shock for many, with influential midfielder only 33 years old. Having previously retired from international duty in 2004, he had been convinced to rejoin the national team for the World Cup. Zidane saw his poor club form as the main reason for his decision. This is definitive. I'm stopping everything. The firmness in his stance brought the football world together in reflection of his incredible career. Maybe there was to be one final chapter to cement his staggering legacy. Going into the campaign, France were not thought of as favourites. Their aging squad still featured a handful of players from the triumph in 1998. Zidane, Barthez, Thuram and Wiltord were just 4 of the 7 over the age of 30. Only Frank Ribéry was younger than 24. Brazil, Italy, England and Portugal were considered a level ahead of their French rivals. With squads full of world-class talent and attacking flair, they would seemingly be too much for Zidane's side. Fortunately for the French, a comfortable group stage would follow. Determined not to underestimate their opposition as they had in 2002, the team managed by Raymond Domenech would play a brand of conservative football. Strong at the back and quick on the break, they qualified behind neighbours Switzerland. As runners-up in Group H, the French would face a daunting run to Berlin. First, a youthful Spanish side were beaten in Hanover before meeting with Brazil in Frankfurt. This fixture would be a repeat of the 1998 World Cup final, a game where Zidane had first propelled himself to fame across the world after his 2-headed goals sealed a victory for Le Bleu. A Thierry Henry goal 12 minutes after half-time would send unfancied France into the World Cup semi-finals. Beating the Brazilian side featuring the likes of Ronaldinho, Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos would need something truly special. In Zidane, that was what they found. Described by some as a second coming, the performance from Zizou was more akin to an act of divine intervention. Garden was particularly impressed with his display, likening it to a phoenix rising from the ashes. Playing with such majesty, they were sure that his performance would be seared in the memories of those present. According to Pelé, over the past 10 years, there had been no one like him. He had been the best player in the world. Pelé was right. There was no one like Zidane. France, now seemingly playing with the world behind them, beat Portugal in the semi-finals and set up a mouth-watering clash against 3-time winners Italy. In Berlin, the stage was set. 2 great teams of world-class players battling it out to be the best in the world. Step forward Zinedine Zidane. After just 7 minutes, he gave France the lead for the penalty spot. What truly summed up the man was the way in which he did it, a cheeky Panenka off the crossbar. Marco Materazzi equalised for Italy, and after an exhilarating end-to-end contest, the match went to extra time. In the additional 30 minutes, a true moment of madness happened. Following a tirade of insults from Materazzi aimed at Zidane in the 110th minute, the Frenchman turned around and planted a headbutt square on the chest of his Italian counterpart. The millions watching around the world were stunned. In Zidane's last ever game, he had been sent off. As he walked off unapologetically, he walked past the World Cup trophy. There remains something truly poignant about that image. Zidane's indiscretion drew a mixed reaction from around the world. In France, although many sympathised with their messiah, some felt him responsible for their eventual defeat. Frank Leboeuf said he was ashamed of the reaction from Zidane and saw it as the prime reason for the Italian victory. The watching audience overwhelmingly took the side of Zizou, some even wishing he had headbutted Materazzi harder. The phrase flawed genius was found in a number of articles as the Mercure number 10 retired. A career often seen as a work of art was blighted by 14 red cards.